Are your finances in shape? Just as in CrossFit, hitting your personal benchmarks is everything. Investing your money with the team at Beck Bodie means that you have a group of dedicated professionals committed to helping you achieve your most cherished financial goals. Beck Bodie writes the financial programming specific to your household needs and recommends an investment strategy that is unique and optimal to meeting your personal objectives. They prioritize what is most important to you and are your most trusted coach for every step of your financial journey. Ready to RX your financial situation? Head over to beckbodie.com, BECKBODE.com, to start a simple conversation about how Beck Bodie can help you PR your financial future. All right, welcome folks. This is In the Doghouse. We are sans Kiefer Lammy tonight, so I assume the episode will be fantastic. We've got some major star power tonight. We've got Wodapalooza Elite Champion Ricky Garard signing in all the way from Wollongong, Australia. And we've got the ever lovely Alex Gazan signing in from about 20 minutes north of me in Las Vegas. What's up, guys?
Not a lot. Just cruising, trying to recover from the long flight.
Yeah.
Apparently Ricky slept 14 hours last night, people. So just...
That's nuts.
4 on the couch, 10 in the bed.
That's pretty good.
Do you
Wake up.
sleep
Good
all
to
the
go.
way through? Like no wake ups, just straight through?
Well, he had to get to the bed.
Yeah.
I actually woke up twice last night to go to the toilet. Believe it or
there you
not,
go.
I weighed in at like 96.5 kilos last night. And then I woke up this morning, I was 93.3.
Wow, thick boy.
But when I got off the plane, all my legs were like swollen and stuff from whatever you call it. And I think I was just holding a lot of fluid last night.
That's crazy. Do you know what you competed at this past week?
Yeah, it should have been 93, I reckon. 205.
That's solid.
Yeah.
There you go. Whatever it was, bro, let's keep it.
Yeah. It's working.
It's working. So we just came off of a exciting weekend. Both you guys podiumed. Ricky, obviously, in the individual competition, and Alex, you podiumed with Carrie Pierce and Ariel Lowen, a.k.a. Humble Killers. So we're just going to talk a little bit today. I kind of want to know from you guys, just kind of get an overview of how you felt about the weekend, how you personally felt about, your performances and some of the high points. There weren't very many low points, which is phenomenal in a competition, obviously. But I think people would love to hear a little bit about, your personal experiences from the weekend. It's a cool perspective to have one individual competitor and obviously a team competitor. So why don't we start with Ricky on the individual side, and Alex, if you have any questions for Ricky, you can ask him as well.
All right.
But in general, dude, give me an idea of how you felt coming in. Obviously, I feel like we were incredibly prepared. I feel like you traveled better than you have before. So maybe kind of like the whole how important it was that you traveled as well as you did.
Yeah.
And also, I think we lost Alex for a minute. And then kind of take me kind of day by day through, how you felt at the competition,
for sure.
Especially on the individual side. Obviously, you did the team as well, but specifically individually.
Yeah, well, preparation couldn't have been any better, really. I've been training well down here in Wollongong. Training's been going good and everything's been feeling good. I've been working on a lot of things and training hard, and we actually booked our flights to go a little bit different this time than we have before, and we decided to travel through Hawaii just to break up the trip a little bit instead of just doing 20 hours flight straight off the bat. And I was able to hang out in Hawaii for a day on the beach and then fly to LA the next day, hang out there for a night, and just kind of cruise over to Miami the next day. So I think breaking up the travel really helped with the time zones and just not smashing my body on the plane for that long. And I was able to get to Miami healthy and no signs of sickness or illness. Kind of did some training on the next day when I got there, and everything kind of felt much the same as when I left. Everything was feeling smooth sailing, joints were feeling good, still felt fit, and it was kind of a good sign because in the past I haven't experienced that as much. And we started the first event off, which was the rings and squats, and that was pretty nerve-wracking event. I had pretty similar experiences to what I normally do leading into it, a little of the nerves and a little bit of a vomit and all that. So
it's not a competition if Ricky doesn't vomit before the first event.
And we figured that that's just me, that's the ritual, so just roll with it and keep on going. But I was pretty nervous for that event just because of it was a pretty intense workout. It was pretty tough when you look at it on paper, and I did know it could be a good workout for me, so it was just a matter of executing it the best I could and sticking to the plan. And
I don't think you knew how good your score in practice was, even dropping the overhead squat. But I got to watch people do it in house, and you annihilated their times, and so it was. I kind of had a feeling that you were either going to win or finish in the top three. But I think this is kind of a good lesson for people. A lot of people who are afraid to test workouts. I think you testing the workout gave you a really good handle on how that last set of overhead squats was going to feel. And you knew how much rest, regardless of what Pat was doing, you knew what you had to do as far as rest was concerned. So maybe talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, for sure. In training, I actually found it really hard and thought that I did terribly. And I actually hit the overhead squats in training, missed the first rep, and then had to rest a lot, and then just really struggled to get them done in training. And I just kind of figured that it's just like a bad training day, no environment. Like I'll be fine when I get back out there. But it was a good learning curve just to know that it wasn't just a day of feeling bad. It actually is a hard movement to finish the workout with. So just had to remember if it was hard for me, it's going to be hard for everyone else, and just remember that I needed to take more rest so that I could have every opportunity I could to do the 9 unbroken on the day, and that's what I did, and I won the workout. So happy days.
Happy days. Won it by a minute and a half. So,
so good.
We could. I think we might have been able to drop once and still pick it up and finish it off. Glad you didn't, though. That would have been scary.
If I dropped it, I would have been in trouble. I was on the limit.
Yeah. I saw right on number 8.
Yeah. There's no way I had a 10th rep in me. That was it.
Yeah. That was a good way to start it off, though, huh?
Yeah, for sure. Good icebreaker when your most nerve-wracking event is the first place. So that was a good start.
Yeah, super cool. And then what did we do on the next event? Talk about the next couple events on day one.
Yeah, where did we go from there? You have to remind me.
The chipper, yeah.
The run. You had more squats, I know that.
Yeah. Like the rope climb?
Lunges, running, all that stuff. That was a good one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Rope climbs.
Yeah, I knew once I just got through the overhead lunges that I could really go to work and do well in that workout. But we all started out pretty quick on the rope climbs, and I figured surely these guys are going to slow down in a second, which they did on like reps 4 and 5. So I managed to get on the GHDs first and rep them out. And then got through the lunges, hang clean and jerks, got the heart rate pretty jacked. I remember getting on the runner, feeling pretty dicey. Took a good probably 600 meters to actually feel okay. And, the boys weren't too far behind me on the run, so I knew if I could just hold a good pace that I should be able to get off first and maintain my lead. But then when Nick Matthews' his judge's hand went up.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell? This can't be right.
Well, what's funny is so the hand went up, and I don't know if you realize this, but then I looked over at one of the MCs, Bella, and I was like, what's going on? I was like, that's impossible. Yeah. There's no way. So she was like, wait a minute. And she walked over and she looked and she saw where he was. And then she went over to the head judge and told the head judge, like, this other judge is screwed up. And that's when the judge walked over and actually made the judge pull her hand down.
But it 500 meters to go.
Yeah, he had 500 meters to go.
Yeah.
When were they supposed to put the hand up?
At 1,500, I think, right?
100 meters to go,
Right,
yeah.
right.
Gotcha.
I was like comfortably running, feeling good. And then his hand went up and my whole face just went.
Yeah.
And I was like, started running fast.
I know. And so, I mean, once you got off that, it was obviously a battle between you and Roman. Which, obviously was the first of many phenomenal battles all weekend between you and Roman.
Yeah.
Going into that last set of GHDs and rope climbs, you kind of knew it was between you and him. And when you saw the big Russian repping out those GHDs flying through them, what were you thinking?
I was like, oh shit, I'm in trouble here. He's catching up to me, and I was like burning my abs, my hip flexors, everything. And I got to 30 reps. I was like, man, I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to climb the rope with my abs and legs feeling like this. So I had a quick break, and then that was enough for him to take me on that one. And then he went straight up the rope from the GHD. I was like, man, I need
without chalking.
I need some chalk. And I thought maybe I could catch him on the rope climbs, but not quite. But it was a good race.
So that leads us into, so you've taken a first and a second, obviously, which is a fantastic way to start, and then we go to the first of the back-to-back workouts that night, right? We get a sprint with the hurdle jumps, and then we get that second part had the D-balls, right? D-balls?
Yeah, that was nasty. So
it was really the only event, I would say, I mean, all weekend, the first one, right, where we made some mistakes.
Execution-wise, yeah, for sure. Across the whole weekend, I'd say that was the biggest mistake was on the hurdle jumps, just getting stuck behind the hurdle instead of in the middle of it and copping no reps. So I was lucky with the amount of no reps I got that I was still able to come. I can't remember what I came.
Fourth, I think. Fourth.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I mean, pretty amazing. You still came in fourth after a bunch of no reps.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it obviously, if it executed correctly, you'd have a good chance to win. But no reps part of the deal. So,
yeah, it's all part of it. I was confident I could take that one. But, good little learning curve. I do have a tendency to jump backwards even when I do double unders and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Something to work on.
And then on the second part, I think another execution error was just not necessarily knowing exactly where Brent was.
Yeah, I thought he was where he was, but he was obviously a lap or two extra in front of that.
Yeah,
on the D-ball carries. But that workout was tough. Mainly, if I was able to keep my hands dry, I feel like that workout would have been easier, even though it's still been hard, but it would have helped. Just maybe, I don't know, if I had a set of gloves or something, I don't know, but that ball was tough to hang on to.
Yeah. But I think for obviously for people listening and learning from your experience, as far as the execution part of it, like, not just what I think is great about what you did though is regardless of whether Brent beat you, et cetera, you stuck to your game plan, right?
Yeah.
Like you went at the pace you could go. And that's something I think you did incredibly well the entire first day, letting Roman, listen, trying to chase him down on the GHDs and the rope climbs, it might have expended so much energy that it would have affected you negatively in the next workout, but ultimately it was sticking to a plan, executing the plan, a couple of no reps here and there, but at the end of the day, a first, a second, and I believe a fourth and a fourth, phenomenal way to begin the first day.
Yeah. Couldn't have got much better than that. But, that D-ball event was tough. I remember having a good scream at the end of it, trying to escape the pain out of my body.
Yeah. And then going into day two, first we got the lift, right? Yeah. And the handstand holds, and Ricky finally listened to me. I was so happy on a lifting event. He actually started lighter than he wanted to, and he listened to Coach for the first time. See that, Alex?
I started
a good listener.
light.
I know you listen to me. You actually probably go too much in the other direction.
I always want to go for the Hail Mary.
So people may not understand, right, is that you guys warm up and then all of a sudden, after you're done warming up, then you go in corral and you have to wait 20 to 25 minutes before hitting another lift. And what that does to the body is freaking brutal. So, the idea is, okay, you're able to lift, to a certain weight, but once we get out there, your first lift is going to feel heavier than it did in warm-ups. So Ricky was going to start at 335 pounds, decided to go 10 pounds lighter at 325. And, you tell me, Ricky, I was going to say, how heavy did that feel still coming off of a 20-minute weight?
Yeah, I was lucky. I did, I reckon, because that squat felt hard and the jerk, the whole thing felt ugly. So
I was so jealous. At least you guys got three. You guys got 3 attempts.
As opposed to 2.
We had 2.
Wait, did we?
That's ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
They should have given you guys 3. It didn't make any sense.
Yeah, it would have only taken like 2 extra minutes.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was lucky. 2 attempts was tough in the teams to hit the weight that you want to hit.
Oh yeah.
So we went 325, 345, 356, correct?
Yeah, that was it. Yeah,
executed very well.
Yeah, felt good. Could have went heavier, but still was good.
Top 10 in a clean and jerk event, bro. Yeah, we'll take it.
Take that, sure.
Yeah,
especially
against a very strong field.
I just remember in that last round on everyone's third attempt, I loaded 355, and I just left it there for a little while, and then just kind of gauged what everyone else was doing. And then I seen heaps of other people at 355, so I was like, grabbed the little half pounders and put them on either side, and get the sneaky pound in there. I think Roman seen me do it and copied.
He did. So, that was cool.
Yeah, that was a cool moment to do
that
great. And hit the lift.
And then the handstand hold, which you held for an incredible 1 second, according to Wodapalooza.
when the score got submitted, my time was actually 1 minute 1 second.
Yeah.
And whoever does the scoring put it in as 1 second point one.
I got to watch that one, and you made it look so much harder than how well you did. You did so well. But I was like, he's coming down. He's coming down. And then you wouldn't.
Yeah. I don't know how you held it, bro.
I didn't find a comfortable position the whole time.
No.
Well, in training, I was able to find that comfy spot and just sit there. But the combos.
You got those strong shoulders.
Yeah, that's it.
It's good to know that even not feeling good with it, you were still able to hold for over a minute. It was I think you came 6th or 5th, something like that.
That's great.
Six, yeah.
Yeah, it's just pretty damn good. It was hilarious, though, because after the event, when they posted the 1 second, and Kiefer came up and was like, what happened? I thought he was supposed to be good at that.
You didn't watch?
I was like, yeah. He was like, 1 second? I was like, no, it was 101. He's like, oh, my God, thank God.
I literally handstand walked across the parallettes.
Yep.
Before I saved it and locked it in.
Yeah. Wow.
Stressful event.
Good save, bro. Good save. Very good. And then I think what people would consider to be the most epic event, you and Roman again, coming down to the wire on the swim event, wall ball, swim, and 9 million drag rope double unders. Tell everybody how you felt on that stuff.
Yeah, no, that event was awesome. It was fun. It started out 50 unbroken wall balls. I wasn't sure how many people were going to do that, but I was always committed that I was going to, and just get out in front early. And I knew I'd practiced it in training, and getting in the water after 50 wall balls was always okay for me.
This is very good for Alex to listen to.
Yeah. So, got in the water, did a nice little dive off the ramp, and literally just beeline to the first buoy and cut about 3 people off and got in front. And, held the lead all the way back to the drag rope. And I knew the drag rope was going to be tough because training, I literally got down to sets of 10 in the first round and was struggling with it. So I think I did a set of 50 to start with in the comp, because that's what I did in training, and managed that. And got into the last round. I think just me and Roman pretty much picked up the wall balls together. Going into the second round, I remember doing the reps and thinking, shit, I'm hurting, I should drop it, but Roman hasn't dropped it yet, so I'm just going to keep going until he drops it.
Yeah.
So, pretty much had a wall ball off until we got to 50. And then, he got off the wall balls just before me, and we ran to the water together, and we, jumped in, and as I, dove in, I, nearly ran into him. He'd come to a complete stop, and I, looked up to take a breath. His goggles are up on his face.
I saw that.
And he's all disorientated and trying to figure out what he was doing.
Yeah.
And, I just took my opportunity to get in front and try to get a lead on him. And then, we got back to the drag rope, and I thought, I literally picked up the rope and he was still running in from the swim. And I swung the rope, tripped on my first rep.
I remember that. Yeah.
Oh shit, I'm a bit dizzy. I need to just stop for a sec, take a breath, and just started chipping away at the drag ropes. And Roman did the first 2 sets unbroken, 50-50. I was like, God damn, surely he's gonna break down in this last set. And we got on the last set, not too far behind him, and I was just skipping away. And I was like, I'll just try and get to 30, and then I'll do 20, and then I think I was at 22 or 3, and he tripped.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, maybe I can get him. So I just held on for 50 unbroken, and
that's amazing to be able to do 50 unbroken after all that.
Just missed by 2 reps. I think I was behind by in the end, and it was pretty awesome.
It was absolutely fantastic.
The crowd was getting involved.
And you guys beat the next closest athlete by 2 minutes, over 2 minutes, I believe.
Oh, was that? Damn.
Yeah, 2.5 minutes. Yeah, it was pretty crazy, bro.
Yeah, we pushed each other pretty hard.
That was wild.
I don't think I've ever skipped that hard in my life. I could hardly feel my hands.
I just thought it was unbelievable to be able to do 50 unbroken drag ropes on that last set after all that work. Yeah. I mean, we all know how hard the drag rope is.
50 is a big set when you're fresh.
Yeah, it's a big set. Yeah, that's pretty damn good.
Having Roman next to you and the crowd in front of you always helps.
Yeah. And then we get to the finale.
Yeah.
Alex, what would have been Alex's favorite workout with the dumbbell bench press? That's where the chest to bars didn't mean much.
Yeah.
So this was one, that I think is important to highlight because, I think you can look at workouts and there's many different ways. We say there's a saying, right? There's 1,000 ways to skin a cat. I mean, it's a horrible saying, but it's true in the sense that there's a lot of different ways to go about things. And we went into that workout knowing that the dumbbell bench press will be the separator. And so what we decided to do was break the chest to bars up a ton, knowing that you could go unbroken on them if you needed to. But the fact was we wanted to set ourselves up for success on the dumbbell bench. So, we broke right from the beginning. You went, I believe, 15-10 on the first. Yeah. And then crushed the dumbbell. Right?
Unbroken, yeah. 15.
And then the next two sets of chest to bars, we did 10-10-5.
Yeah, 10-10-5, yeah.
Yeah. Which, I would think most people would look at.
It felt weird.
Yeah, right. And we saw Roman go unbroken, right?
Yeah.
But we also saw you guys get to the bike at pretty much the exact same time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And listen, Roman on a bike is Roman on a bike. We all know that. But what we saw was because I truly believe this, because of the way that we broke the first workout, when it came time to do the second workout, Dirty Isabel, you saw the effect of what the first workout had done on Roman and his inability to be able to smash the second part, which normally you would think, Roman probably is able to go unbroken on a workout like that, right?
Sure.
And he was devastated, right? His body was just smoked from all that, from I believe, from going 75, unbroken.
Surely his grip was hurting, trying to hold on to those snatches.
Yeah.
Sure.
And we had a plan going in the second one to do 12, drop, do 3 burpees, 10, drop, do 3 burpees, and then finish with 8. And we were able to sustain that. And obviously that was enough to pull out the win. Yeah. But I think it's a huge lesson for people that like playing your game and understanding that, obviously the circumstances are important. But if you had got caught up in trying to race Roman on that first part, I really believe that the second one would have been really more dicey than it was.
I would have been worse off than he was if I did
100%.
25.
Yeah. Sure. So that was just fantastic. And I talked a little bit about, when I did a couple of interviews afterwards about how I felt like this was the best that you've ever put together a competition strategically and execution wise. I think talent wise, it's always been there, but I think like, not getting caught up, in just trying to, bludgeon the field, or do something like 45 unbroken toe to bar in the start of a workout, right? Right. So ultimately I feel like it's showing your maturation process as an athlete.
Yeah, for sure. Learning from past competitions over the past year and just taking that, putting it into action on the floor.
Which I think is huge. And I think, we've seen some of the best in the sport in like a Pat Vellner and a Brent Fikowski who tend to maximize their strategy and their what obviously they're very talented, but they also tend to put strategies together to maximize those, to maximize the points and their execution. And I think, what we saw from you this competition was you were able to do that, as well or better than anyone at the competition and also, execute that. So, it was fantastic.
No, I was stoked. It's been doing it like at training and stuff. Been practicing a lot, just like different. Instead of sticking to my same strategies at training that I always do, just try different things. Just like trial and error, kind of what training should be about. So just been doing some sort of stuff unbroken or breaking it up heaps or a bit of a mix of both and just kind of seeing what works and what feels best.
Right.
So that's been,
and I think
good.
That brings up a great point in the idea that like training is the time to try it, right? Training is the time to, you can fail in training, but sometimes when you fail in training, you're learning. Yeah. And so, it's not failing. It's actually gaining knowledge that allows you then to be better when it comes to game time, right? Like that's the time to do it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's easy to get stuck like just doing the same patterns and habits that you have in training all the time instead of trying things out and figuring things out, trying something new.
Yeah. Well, I think that's fantastic.
It's been good.
Awesome. Alex, any questions for Ricky while he's before we hand the mic over to you for a little bit?
I don't have any questions, but it was really fun to get to watch, like to spend 2 days and like get to see you compete and not like have to like say hi and like see you after the event. So that was cool to see.
Yeah, because at the games we just crossed paths. Didn't get to watch.
Yeah.
Just like, how was it? It was hard.
Exactly.
Good luck.
Yeah. No, it was really fun to watch. And like, it was funny because I remember the first event, I was sitting by James and he was like calling his shot, like who he thought was going to win. And I was just like, watch, like Ricky's just watching. Like you'd look over at Pat and I was like, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, knows what he's doing.
It was really cool.
He's got it.
Yeah. It's tough at Wodapalooza because it's hard for me to find places to watch. Yeah. So a lot of it, like I'm just listening, because I can't get into the venue. But that first one was one that I was able to get up in the crowd and watch. I actually watched it with Michelle and a couple of the others, and they didn't catch it, but my patented like screaming, going berserk at the end of the first event.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Oh yeah, of course. I'm sure a lot of people were. Yeah,
I was going off myself.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. So, well, yeah, man, super proud of you. It was exciting, and I feel like we took a big step. Took a big step forward. As far as competition experience, competition execution, competition strategy, all those things. I really feel like this was a big one to prove to people, but not just people, to prove to yourself, for sure. To be able to do it.
Massive confidence boost for me to start the year. So super stoked and keen to keep the ball rolling.
Let's roll, baby. Yeah. All right. So now we go to the team, and we're gonna, Ricky was on a team too, but Ricky had fun there with the boys. But we're gonna focus on Alex and her experience with the team. Obviously, Alex, you got to compete with two veterans. You got to compete with one of the best to ever do it, obviously, in Carrie Pierce, and one of the best in the world right now. In Area Alone, who just finished 11th in the world at the games. So give me an idea of kind of what your feelings were going into it, and then we'll start to talk about specific events.
I was really nervous at first, just because you look up to both of those women, and you just don't ever want to be like the person to hold anyone back or like have a scenario where like they're waiting on you, depending on what the workout is. And Carrie was like, yeah, no pressure, but I've podiumed every time. I've the past 4 times I've been at Wodapalooza. So there's just definitely this unspoken pressure to execute and pull your weight. So on one note I was really nervous, but then on the other hand, being able to reflect and I remember meeting Carrie about probably 2 years ago now, and I probably have texts texting my best friend back home oh my gosh, she just got here, I'm so nervous, So to reflect on just like meeting her 2 years ago to then getting the opportunity to compete with her, like that was pretty surreal and like a big gratitude moment.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. So we get down to Wodapalooza. You're able to watch the individuals, and then it's time for you guys to get started. And obviously, the first event is a fun one with the 42s, right?
Oh gosh, yeah, that one was like so glad that my teammates were who they were.
But then of course you have the unfortunate circumstance of having an equipment malfunction in the first event. So tell the people what happened when you got off of your last set of chest to bars.
Yeah, so I had the chest to bar, so we were like doing fairly well at that point. I'd say like top 2.
Yeah, you were in second at the time.
And so I got into the rower the same time as Mal, and I'd consider myself like a pretty decent rower.
I'd say so.
I was like, okay, like just get on the rower, and that's that. And I'm pulling, and all of a sudden my screen shows like 2010. Like, intervals on the bike, it'll be like 2010. Yeah. That pops up, and I just keep rowing because there's nothing else you can do in that situation. And I'm like rowing, and eventually like looking at my judge, like what do I do? And he starts counting my strokes, and I'm a low strokes per minute rower, so I row at like a 21 or 22. And granted, I probably could have thought to like just do shitty strokes, but I was in the moment. And Mal O'Brien gets off, and he's pretty much like, okay, go. So I think we finished probably 4th or 5th with the issue there, but then we were able to dispute the score, and that was nice.
And they gave you 5 seconds back.
Yeah.
I'm going to put you out on a limb, and you don't have to answer if you don't want to, but
okay.
You, Mal, get to that rower at the same time. If your rower works, who gets off the rower first?
A 240-meter sprint? I think I could get her.
There you go. That's the right answer. I like it. So you guys, I think you ultimately, you ended up 4th on that workout, I think. Or maybe 3rd after the dispute, because they gave you guys 5 seconds back.
Yeah, they gave us 5 seconds, so we were 1 second behind Mal's team.
Right.
I was like, okay.
Exactly. Yeah. So we finished that workout, right? And then what was event 2? I'm drawing a blank.
That was the swim, yeah?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, we had the swim. So for teams, it was waterfall style.
Running and the swim, right? 2 scores.
Yep, so 2 teammates work together to complete a 5K, and then the other teammate works through 15 D-ball cleans, a swim, and then 21 D-ball squats.
Got it.
Yeah.
So what did you take from that workout? What did you think as far as how it felt and what, looking back at it, as far as execution, as far as, where you felt like what went well or what could have gone better?
Yeah. I feel like as a team, we executed well. Like that probably wouldn't be our workout on paper, just in the sense of like, none of us are known as swimmers and are runners. So to still be in the top, I think for one part we were like 4th and the other part we were 6th. So we were happy with that. Personally, the running went really well. We've been working on that like
a lot,
very aggressively. So it felt good to like use it and feel good about it. Probably could have swam faster, but it's kind of scary to like swim with your heart rate that high, and you want to be able to get out and continue to do work. So that's something to take away from that event for me. And the D-ball, I should have done it with it on my shoulder, but I was worried about my hip. Like it just kind of twisted and didn't feel very good.
Yeah. But I think for you, knowing that like your heart rate could be that high and then getting out of the water and being like, oh, you know what, I can be more aggressive.
Yeah.
I think it's positive. And then also just the matter of spending more time in the water, getting more and more acclimated. I mean, Ricky can tell you a couple of years ago, right? I mean, Ricky, you would say you were a poor swimmer, I would think, a few years ago.
Yeah, for sure.
And now,
twice.
Much better than average.
Yeah, twice a week for 2 years now. It's added up.
Yeah. So I think just exposure to it, will make you more and more confident. But in general, a good, next workout. And then what came in the evening?
Our team version of the rings and squats workout. So we had 30, 20, 10 synchro muscle ups, one person on the ring, one person on the bar, and then one person squat snatch, one person squat clean.
How did that go for you guys?
I feel like it went well. That one I'm kind of having a hard time remembering all the little details. It got hard. That one was like your heart rate got really high and there was a lot of place for it to come down. But I feel like we did well on the barbell. We didn't really get any no reps, which was nice. We got one no rep on the rings, and that's just because our timing was off a little bit. But overall, it was good, and I don't really know what we could have changed really to do better.
What sets did you guys do on the barbell before you
we did
changed?
Threes, right? Threes?
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Same as us.
Yeah. At the very end, I stayed on the squat cleans, and then Carrie stayed on the snatches. It just made more sense. It was faster for that way.
For the last 10.
Yeah. But otherwise, we would go 3 squat clean, 3 snatch, rotate.
Switch. Yeah, it's just like the waterfall, back, Yeah. Yeah, it was good. I think you guys came in 4th or 5th on that one too.
Yeah, it was around there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So then we go to the next morning.
Oh, yeah, the shoulder city workout. Oh, my goodness.
Shoulder city.
Yeah. So how'd that one go? Explain what the workout was.
All right. It was a whole lot of things. It started off with one athlete does 10 rope climbs. While the other 2 athletes have to hold one of the pieces of equipment. So you're either holding a barbell, kettlebells, or the dumbbells. After that, then you do 30 synchro hang cleans. Then athlete 2 does 10 rope climbs while the other 2 hold. Then 30 synchro overhead, shoulder to overhead. Third athlete rope climbs while the other 2 hold. And then 30 synchro thrusters. The synchro with different implements was really interesting because obviously a barbell is going to be a lot faster than kettlebells and vice versa. So that was I was really proud of that. I feel like up until the end, we didn't really get any no reps and we were able to find a good rhythm. I was the first on the rope climbs. So I was fresh going into those, which was nice. But the clean and jerks after got really hard, grip wise.
Yeah.
I'm also not great with kettlebells yet, so we're going to work on that.
No. Well, it was good for me to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good for me to see. We'll fix that quick.
Yeah, I try to brute my way out of those. And that's not good.
But, what was positive was obviously, I don't know if you know this, but you were first coming off the rope. So of all the teams.
Oh, that's good.
Yes, you were the fastest rope climber. Yeah. So that was cool. And I think you guys took 2nd or 3rd in that also.
Yeah, it was one of the 2. And I feel like I think we got 3rd because I remember the daughters and BPM were right ahead of us. But I feel like we executed it well. At the very end, something kind of frustrating. Our judge held up. He was 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And he was counting at the same time. So he was 42, 43. And so he's 46, 47, 48. So then we put our stuff down and he was no rep. And then we were just a hot mess for 10 seconds. But we made it across.
Yeah, so he counted 48, but then said you still had one more to do.
Yeah. So he
which makes no sense.
And it's we were able to set stuff down and figure it out. But for a second, Carrie held on and we were just all over the place.
That makes sense. Yeah.
But,
so that's a judging error.
That event was sneakily hard. I remember Carrie was the last on the rope, and I was holding, I think, the barbell at that point. And I just remember okay, close your eyes. You probably have about 90 seconds left. Just I was thinking of the ice bath, actually. I was like, you can just, like, zone out. And I, like, opened my eyes, and she had 5 rope climbs. I was like, okay, just, like, you're halfway. And I opened them, and she had 4. And I was like, oh, no. Like,
that's funny.
The holds were sneaky. Very, very sneaky.
Yeah. Well, Timmy, on your side, Ricky, Timmy had to take a break on those rope climbs.
I was like, what's going on? He's telling me to put it down?
Oh, he told you guys to put it down?
Oh, yeah. I mean, listen, Paulson's an animal, but he doesn't love rope climbs, that guy. He'll admit that. He doesn't love rope climb.
Yeah, poor fella.
So, yeah, he was just like, all right, boys, put it down. Let's do some front squats.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, no. That's not good.
Apparently we were the only team to do it.
You were.
In the whole competition.
100%. I was watching and I was like, what the hell is going on? Because I was watching on TV. I had no idea, what was going on. So, I didn't know.
Lucky to still come 4th in that workout, I think.
Yeah, you guys did very well on the workout still. I think you were leading, though, going into those front squats.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty sure.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. So Alex, once you guys finish that, then it's time for the lift?
Yeah. We kind of talked about that a little bit earlier when we were talking about Ricky. We had 2 attempts for each of our lifts. It was like a 30-second lifting window and then a 45-second transition window, rotating through all 3 athletes. So honestly, like, it was probably my least favorite lifting event I've ever done in a competition, just because I felt like you didn't even have time to, like, wrap your head around what weights you're putting on, like. By the time you loaded your bar for your teammate, like, you had to be turning around, grabbing your chalk, and getting ready. And 2 attempts just doesn't give you time to, like, make the right number. At least in my case, maybe some people did, but yeah. So
you front squatted, and what did you start with, and what did you finish with?
I opened with 245 and then did 265. I mean, I was like, I'm still kind of nursing that hip issue.
Hip thing, yeah.
So I was really nervous, especially with the long corral time, just to go from nothing to such a heavy load in that position. But then 245 felt really good, so I was like, okay, I'll make a 20-pound jump, and that felt really good. So I wish I had time for one more, but that's okay.
And then after that event, we go into the finale, right?
Yeah, and I think at that point we were 8 points out of a podium spot.
You were, yes. Yeah. And then obviously we get the kitchen sink, which is essentially every movement in CrossFit in one workout. So you got the dumbbell bench portion and the synchro wall ball portion. Mm-hmm. And I don't think anybody questions or there's not very many people that don't know how good you and Carrie Pierce are at dumbbell bench press. So both of you had to be licking your chops when you saw that section. So what happened during, I think you guys came into through the first section of the toe to bar and the box jump overs and then going into the dumbbell bench. I think you guys were maybe in 3rd place.
Yeah.
Then what happened during the dumbbell bench section?
Yeah. I'll preface this by saying Ariel was really fast on her box jump over. She was cooking.
She really was.
Which it was awesome to watch. But yeah, Carrie and I were like in the lunges. I remember we were like a little bit behind, and I was like, "Oh, it's okay. Like, we'll be fine." And we just kind of went for it. I think we did I did 12. Carrie did 18, and then
she did 18 on her first set.
10 and 10. And I was like doing my last one. She's like, "Alex, like, stop. Like, I'll finish them so you can go to the wall balls." I was like, "Oh, okay, fine." I should have stopped. The wall balls were so hard. I remember.
So yeah, you guys got no rep on your first 2 wall balls because I think Ariel hit the bottom twice.
It was totally my fault. I was throwing high enough, but I couldn't throw out.
So you missed it.
I was just like straight up and down.
Got it.
So yeah, that was totally my fault. I remember all day I was like super nervous about my legs. I was like, oh, like the lunges into the wall balls, and I didn't even feel my legs. My arms were just on fire. But I feel like after the 2 no reps, then we got into like a good rhythm, and we broke more than we had planned, but I felt like it was like quick breaks on the wall balls.
Yeah. So you were able to hold your position there, and both of you were quick on the handstand walks, and you were able to take first place on that first one.
Yeah, that was so fun. It was like,
which is
so
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Which, according to Annie Thor's daughter, they could have won that event. Apparently,
didn't they get like 4th though? Like
they did, and finished 32 seconds behind you guys. But apparently, they could have won that event. So we'll just leave that at that.
I would love to know like where they would have made up room.
Yeah, I would love to hear love to hear that. Yeah, It's really nice to give credit to your opponents and have good sportsmanship. But hey. She's Annie Thor's daughter, so there you go.
Oh, my goodness.
Anyway, and then we move on to the second workout, the second part, which is it actually wasn't alternating snatches. It was 33 snatches, synchro, done anyway, right? So ultimately you could hold it in the same hand. There was supposed to be a rule, though, I believe, that each teammate was supposed to be in the same hand at the same time, right? Or do we not know that?
I don't think that was specified. I think they literally just said make sure it was synchro at the top.
Okay.
Anything else was irrelevant. And then the burpee standard was a double jump over the dumbbell. And it was synchro at the bottom.
Got it. So you guys smashed that event too. You come in second. And obviously after the finishing first and second on the final 2 events, you're able to finish on the podium, 12 points, I believe, behind BPN and the daughters. So it's super tight, but a phenomenal performance. And how'd you guys feel as far as your performance and finishing on the podium?
I think we were super stoked. I think Ariel and I were like, okay, we didn't let Carrie down as far as the podium was concerned. But I think like all of us wanted that starting the weekend, and then to have it kind of like, okay, we're in a podium place, now we're not, like to kind of be riding that wave and finish on the podium was really exciting. Yeah.
And Carrie now is podiumed every time she's competed at Wodapalooza, so there you go. Yeah. That's pretty awesome. It was cool for me because I think coming in, most of the analysts picked you guys to finish around 5th. I didn't see very many people picking you guys 3rd, so that was pretty cool to see. Yeah. Obviously it was super, super exciting for me to be able to I don't want to say coach you guys, but to be able to help you guys throughout the weekend. It was fantastic, and I love to. The team stuff was a lot of fun. That I really think Wodapalooza did a nice job this year of separating the individuals and the teams and making, and making it super exciting for both divisions. And the format obviously allowed some of the best athletes in the sport to do both, which is really, really cool and fun to watch.
How you feeling, Ricky? How's the body?
Still sore. My legs.
Yeah.
Did
you figure out how many squats you did in 4 days?
I don't know.
It's got to be hundreds and hundreds of squats. Right?
Yeah, it was crazy.
I mean,
my legs were shot on Saturday before we started. And then by Sunday I still was sore, but I felt better than I did on Saturday.
I think doing fitness on Saturday helped you, actually.
Yeah, sure. Flushed it out.
What wouldn't have helped is if you did those pistols, so I'm very happy you didn't.
That would have buried me.
You guys would have done better in the workout, but
I would have been stuck on the toilet on Sunday.
Yeah.
It was fun to watch all the athletes try to run after those pistols. Yeah. That was hilarious.
Yeah, that was a backup.
Oh my God, it was crazy to watch.
Stoked it wasn't me.
Yeah, I don't know who was next to Ariel, but when she face planted after the. It wasn't Ariel. It was next to Christine Best. I was watching Christine Best. There was whatever team was next to Christine, she was doing her pistol. She was flying, and then all of a sudden she took one step and just face planted. Oh, dude, it was wild.
Surely there's a video of it somewhere.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I'd go back and watch it, but yeah, it was pretty hilarious.
Funny, slow motion.
Yeah. So obviously very successful, right? Extremely successful weekend. So what's the plan coming up? I mean, obviously I know, but what's the plan as far as the next couple of weeks going into the Open? As far as training, as far as the body, what are we doing here?
Ricky, you can go first.
For me, I'm just recovering from the flight home and just getting back to routine and sort my clothes and my food and get all those things sorted first. And the Open is literally around the corner, which is crazy. It's crazy how quick it's come around. I think it's 4 weeks away. So
4 weeks. Yeah.
Not too stressed about that. Just get through that. Any workout I do that it's on a leaderboard, I'm always going to give my best effort. So keen for that, and then it goes into quarters, which is always fun. It's a good online competition. Compare yourself across the world, and just make sure you secure a spot in the semis, which should be no issue. But just stoked for the season to start again, and it's crazy. It's 1 year's already gone, and get to relive it all again, but better.
Exactly. Alex, what about you?
I mean, same steps as far as the Open and quarters, and I'm still kind of recovering from the week, and I guess we're training whenever you ride.
Monday.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Wow, well, Tuesday. We're on the Tuesday schedule now. Yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday. I think for us, right, we'll make sure we get your hip in order and make sure we get you 100% over the next couple of weeks going in to the Open and whatnot. So, so I mean, obviously, exciting week. I think from a coach's perspective, obviously very happy with the way things went. Ricky, obviously, like I said, I feel like your best overall competition from start to finish, execution-wise, performance-wise. Alex, I think, for you, right, you're still, it's crazy to think, right? You just turned 21. So you're still at the beginning stages of your career and there's so much for you to learn, so being able to compete with Carrie and Ariel and, just kind of being a sponge and constantly absorbing, all the experience and whatnot is huge. But I think what we continue to learn, and I think what's important for you to continue to learn is trusting yourself and trusting your abilities so that when you go into competitions, we can kind of put aside the conservative mindset. Now, conservative if there needs to be a conservative strategy, right? But on workouts that you can excel and do well in, being aggressive and going for it is not a bad thing, right? And it's just, I think, there's a saying that we say, train it and then trust it. And for you, I think it's just continuing to trust it, right? It's continuing to trust your ability, when it's not just maybe your 2 or 3, massive strengths that you have, like a legless rope climb or a bench press, but even more so than that, you're getting more and more fit all the time. And I think, that's a huge thing, is just getting to the point where, you're able to trust yourself in the competition, and you're able to start moving at the pace that we see some of the athletes like Ricky or Ariel or Carrie move at, right? That top 10 to top 15 pacing,
totally.
Which I think you're capable of, and it's just a matter of believing it and doing it. And that's going to reflect, I think that's going to be important, like Ricky was talking about in practice.
Yeah.
Right. is the trial and error, the ability to be able to try certain things that maybe you're like, I don't know if I can do this. Okay, fine. Like, let's see. Right.
Yeah.
And that will afford you the confidence in a competition to be able to do it and not wonder. So I think all that is enormous. So awesome. Yeah. Well, this was fun, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nice to catch up.
A very comprehensive Wodapalooza wrap-up show. That's what we had. Yeah. Any other topics that you guys want to discuss from the week? Anything else? What was your favorite restaurant down there that you ate at?
Oh, Garrard Express for me. They took all my
Did
money.
you eat anywhere else?
Not that I can remember. Oh, pizza.
Yeah, the pizza bar was good, huh?
On the final night, Sunday night.
Yeah. Pizza bar was
18-inch
good.
pizza. I couldn't believe the size of it. I don't really know
Yeah.
inches that came out. I was like, oh, damn, that's huge.
Huge. Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
Garrard Express.
What-
Took all my money.
Garrard Express. I think Garrard Express. Ricky's going to get a sponsorship with Garrard
Garrard
Express.
Express.
this year.
I've never
I walked
heard of
I walked in there on Monday morning. And
Yeah.
they're like, oh, congratulations. And they're asking me for photos and stuff.
Did they? Oh, man. Let's go. Garrard Express partnership.
Yeah,
Let's go.
sign me up.
I love it. Yeah. What about you, Alex?
We only ate out a couple times. I was staying with Carrie, so I was on that oatmeal train.
Oh, the oatmeal diet. Yeah.
But we went to the Cafe Bastille, or it's
Okay.
one of the popular cafes. I remember I saw Matt eating like French toast from there. I was like, that looks really good.
Yeah.
Brent and Pat and I think a couple other athletes like made a menu for them. So they
Oh,
had
cool.
like a little special CrossFit edition menu, and it was really good. They had like really good potatoes and stuff. But that was really one of my only dining experiences.
How was the dinner you guys did the final night? Was that fun?
You
didn't
know
make
me. I don't know. I showed my face and then left.
Yeah.
No
I'm
after
not
party
ready.
for Alex.
No. Alex likes to show up and then take off and go to sleep early. Yeah, that's good.
I didn't
good.
make the after party. I'm normally a party boy.
Yeah, I thought you were going out with Con.
Yeah, that was the plan, but
I'm happy you didn't.
too much pizza and laid on the bed and
Yeah, crashed. That's good. That's good. Awesome. Well, thanks, guys. I appreciate having y'all, and thanks for giving the people some insight into some of the events and how you felt during them. And I think it's always cool to get the athlete's perspective on, what they were thinking, and aside from just strategy and whatnot, like actually, some of the feelings and thoughts. So
No, this is fun.
yeah, it's good.
super cool.
Thanks for
Awesome.
having me.
Oh, it's our pleasure. And from in the Doghouse, right? In the Doghouse. I always forget the Dog Pound, in the
that's
Doghouse,
it.
whatever. It's been the best episode ever. As yours truly was the host and not Kiefer. So just kidding. We love you, Kiefer. All right, y'all. Signing off.
Thank
See you
you.
later.
Adios.
Bye-bye.